What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. Yes, it is Thursday. It is November 22nd. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time, and we are back in the building. Yes, somebody was asking, oh my God, will Anthony actually do a show on Thanksgiving? Yes, I will. It is VR365, VR gaming news and discussion 365 days a year. We might even have a show like Christmas Day. I mean, I'm basically planning on having a show pretty much every day. One of the things I could say, though, is there could be some shows where maybe they're only 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes we're going to have some short shows. And today's show could be like that. I'm not really sure. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to play it by ear. But before I get started today on the regular version of the show, one of the things I want to say is Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Now, obviously, Thanksgiving is a United States-based holiday. A lot of people don't celebrate it in other countries, but I mean, you probably have some kind of holiday that is similar. And the funny thing about Thanksgiving is I never really used to be into the whole Thanksgiving thing, you know, from the standpoint of anytime it's actually the holiday, people will all, you know, you'll watch a news program or whatever, and they'll be like, let's talk about the real spirit of Thanksgiving. What does Thanksgiving really mean? You know, it's a day where you gather around the table with your friends and family and you eat turkey. It's Turkey Day, blah, 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 blah. But what is the real story behind Thanksgiving? And basically, it's all about giving thanks, giving appreciation for all of the good stuff that we have out there. And normally I don't really buy into that stuff, but you know what? I've kind of changed my viewpoint on certain things over the last couple of years. And I actually really believe in this idea and this concept of giving thanks, appreciation, being grateful for things. And I'm going to go off topic here for just a minute because I think this is probably the best tip that I could give to anybody on planet Earth, period, is you can hack your brain. You literally can hack your brain from the standpoint that if you focus on appreciation and gratitude and being thankful for everything that comes into your life, what happens is you're actually training your brain. You're literally training your brain to focus in on and dial in on appreciating, being grateful, being thankful. And one of the beautiful things about this is by default, you're automatically going to ignore a lot of stuff that irritates you, a lot of stuff that pisses you off. If you're always focused on being grateful and being thankful and being appreciative, you are going to ignore all these things that irritate you. And your brain is literally going to go out of its way to find things to be thankful for, find things to be grateful for. And it is one of the most amazing hacks that are out there. I'm telling you guys, I used to be primarily a very negative person. A couple of years ago, I was the type of guy, I'm straight up, I was, you know how they always talk about the glass is half empty or the glass is half full? I used to be the type of guy where the glass is half empty, the glass is dirty, the glass is chipped. I think I see little things floating around in the water. It's not bottled water. Ugh, yuck, I don't want this at all. You know, I was on the extreme edge of that pessimistic, negative kind of a thing. I mean, I celebrated negativity. I went out of my way to look for negativity and to be like not thankful, not appreciative of things. I went out of my way to look for the other stuff. And I've kind of flipped it 180 degrees. And this is probably the greatest gift I could give anybody else, is just try this out. Experiment with this. For example, have you ever been shopping for a new car? Let's say you want to get a brand new Honda Accord and you want to get a silver Honda Accord, and maybe you went for a test drive in a silver Honda Accord. And have you ever noticed that you will start seeing silver Honda Accords everywhere? You'll be driving around. Oh, there's a silver Honda Accord. Oh, there's a silver Honda Accord. There's one, there's one, there's one. And the reason that happens is you basically train your brain on what to focus on and what to dial into. And your subconscious mind knows that you're very, very interested in a silver Honda Accord, and it is going to go out of its way to find it everywhere. And that's the exact same thing that you can do with appreciation, gratitude, being thankful. And because this is Thanksgiving, I'm allowing myself to kind of go off on this completely off-topic rant. But I really think those of you out there that maybe you're a bit on the negative side and you've always heard about this positive mentality and all this stuff, but you always thought it was a bunch of hooey, I'm telling you, give it a try. Check it out. Try it out. I think you're going to be amazed by the results. You got to give it a few weeks, maybe a few months, and have some faith in it, and you'll be amazed by the results. It's like a scientific thing. This isn't even a metaphysical thing. You're teaching your brain what to focus in on. Focus on positivity, appreciation, gratefulness, and all that sorts of stuff. So anyway, that is, Anthony's been possessed by Tony Robbins. I'm kind of going off here on some crazy shit. But anyway, let's get back into the VR world. Now, in the VR world today, it's true, there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of news stories. It's pretty much, yay, let's celebrate with the family. What are 20 games to play on Thanksgiving with your family? That's pretty much the topics that we have out there today. So not a lot is jumping off. But you know what? I do have a few different trailers to get into and a few different things to discuss. So why don't we go ahead and get into it? And maybe a little bit later today, one of the things we can do a little bit later in this show is we can talk about what are we grateful for from a VR standpoint, but we can go ahead and get into that a little bit later. Let's see here. I know I have a handful of trailers that I wanted to bring up real quick. Some interesting stuff that I happened to notice earlier today as I was preparing for today's show. Let's see here. Why don't we go ahead and check out, there's a trailer for a game. It is called Evoke. And this is like a spell casting, kind of a wizard type game. It is available right now. This one could be a game flying under the radar. I'm not sure. I saw the Steam logo for this and the Steam page for this. It looked kind of interesting, so I thought, let me grab this trailer and let's check it out. So let's go ahead and check out this game called Evoke.
You just couldn't leave your old master to rest. Oh, I suppose you've forgotten how to use your powers then. Well, I fear times have changed since we've been gone. We should begin before it's too late. So, are you ready?
All right, that is Evoke, which is available right now. In fact, we can go ahead and switch over to the web browser right here. Let me see if I can find Evoke. Yeah, here is the Steam page. So this game released on November 18th. It's been out for a number of days now. The developer is Polyflame, publisher is Polyflame as well, and the price for Evoke is $20. So there is no initial launch release discount, straight up 20 bucks. Evoke, don't know much about this. Let me see what it says here. A VR spell casting experience. Greyhelm Forest is on the verge of being completely corrupted by the undead, and this looks like a job for an almighty and powerful wizard. Oh, he's booked out, is he? Damn. Well, perhaps you will be up for the challenge. And this came out, I mean, it kind of has a little bit of a Halloween kind of a flavor to it. Looking at some of these screenshots here, obviously it did miss the Halloween window, coming out on November 18th. But I just happened to notice this as a recent Steam VR game release. Looks mildly interesting. Have not heard anything about it, but that is Evoke. Okay, let's see. Do we have another trailer that I can get into? And yes, we do. So this one is called Tale of the Fragmented Star, the single fragment version. Now, this was available on the Japanese PlayStation VR store, but it has now arrived on Steam. I don't know a hell of a lot about this, but let's go ahead and check out this trailer for Tale of the Fragmented Star.
Hey, where did you come from? How long have you been there? Wait, I remember. You! I'll be right over, so don't move an inch, okay? There's no doubt about it. You're but a thin shadow, but you've certainly crossed into this world. I'll try to put this in terms you can understand, so clean out those ears. That is a convergence point between our worlds. I don't know who made it or how you got it, but that other world viewing device you're wearing is letting you look into this world, and only because you're using it in a specific place. You can see me, right? Can you even hear me for that matter? You're interested in that? I'll go check it out in a jiffy. Now, what could this be? It looks like a lever. I'll try moving it. Huh!
Well, this is a super exciting trailer, isn't it? Yeah, it isn't exactly the most incredible trailer I've ever seen, but yeah, this is Tale of a Fragment something. Oh, here it is. Okay, Tale of the Fragmented Star. Yeah, this originally was on PlayStation VR, only in the Japanese market, and it is now available on Steam. I believe this just recently came out. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Yeah, Tale of the Fragmented Star. This just released today, actually. This is just out, brand new release on Thanksgiving Day. And the price for this is $25. And so it says, help a stranded girl escape with just your eyes in this puzzle game designed specifically for VR. From the stationary convergence point between the two worlds, use the focus lock to tell her the steps she has to take in order to put the star back together. I don't know too much about this. It was designed from the ground up for VR, and doesn't really look like my type of game, but it did release today. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring that one up really quick. And let's go ahead and switch back over here. So one of the things I can mention in terms of being thankful, you know, this is Thanksgiving. Let's give thanks for things. And one of the things I can mention really quick here is I have my Oculus Go right here. And I actually have a new cover on my Oculus Go. I don't know if we can see this very well, but this is provided from VR Cover. So they went ahead and sent me this, and I've been trying it. I don't have a review yet because I haven't tried it quite enough to give a review. I kind of wanted to spend some time with this and really get a feel for it. I like it so far, but I kind of want a bit more long-term impressions with it before I give a finalized review on it. But I am liking it so far, and it does feel very nice. And I will be bringing this Oculus Go with me to my family's Thanksgiving celebration later today, and definitely will be putting a bunch of different people into the Oculus Go, giving them some different experiences to try out. Eclipse, Edge of Light, maybe Blaze Rush, possibly Henry, some different experiences that I could put them into. Amaze 3D, of course, for some of them, but definitely some different experiences I could put some people in. But I did want to say thank you to VR Covers for sending me this cover, giving me a chance to try it out. And I definitely will have a review in the not too distant future when I've had a little bit more time to play around with it. So that is the new VR cover for your Oculus Go. Let's see. Okay, well, one of the things I can talk about today, you guys remember Spheres, all right? Spheres is this 3-part cinematic experience based on different aspects of outer space, different aspects of our solar system. And this is available on the Oculus Store for $9.99. And we got this, well, VR Roundtable. Actually, I think Gary bought this and basically gave it to VR Roundtable. And so all of us have had a chance to try it. And so we'll definitely be talking about it probably on VR Roundtable again on our next episode. But I've been taking my time with Spheres. I've been trying it slowly but surely. I did the very first Spheres, which is Chorus of the Cosmos. That is hosted by Millie Bobby Brown. I thought it was pretty decent. The very first one, you're grabbing the planets, kind of moving them around. You have a bit of interactivity. You have a bit of hand presence in this interactive cinematic experience. I thought it was pretty good. Then I tried the second one, which was hosted by Jessica Chastain, Songs of Space-Time. And I thought that one, honestly, I thought was even more impressive. You kind of are on the cusp of a black hole. You go inside a black hole, and there's some different experiences that go on in that one. You kind of shout out to the heavens and you hear it reverberated back in a really cool way. I think that's a pretty cool, interesting experience to try out. But I didn't try the third one. The third one is called Pale Blue Dot, and it is hosted by Patty Smith. And I was really impressed with this one. In fact, honestly, this may have been the most impressive one that I tried of the 3 so far. And one of the cool things about this one is it's concentrated more on our actual solar system. So it starts going through the various planets that are in our solar system: Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, the moon, and then eventually it gets to planet Earth. But as it's going through, you get these different close-up views of all these different planets. And I thought it was like the visuals I thought were really good, really clean, very clear. Again, I don't have much of a problem with God rays when I'm experiencing this, even though it is a very dark backdrop that all of this is happening on. And the most impressive part of this whole thing was when they were doing Saturn. And you're looking at Saturn, and they put you down in the rings of Saturn, and then it starts zooming around, and that was really quite impressive. I was like, wow, it really feels like I'm zooming around these rings of Saturn, as we're rotating around and around. And I thought it was I could see some people probably getting a bit dizzy and motion sick off of that part, but I thought it was very impressive. And then, of course, you get to see Mars from a pretty close-up perspective, the moon, and then, of course, planet Earth. And planet Earth is just right there in front of you, and you're kind of taking your controllers and you're lighting up different portions of planet Earth, and you hear people talking, kind of like the voices and the sounds that are coming off of planet Earth, the radiation or whatever that makes the different noises. Like, all the different planets have their own kind of sonic signature from radiation and whatever is coming off of the planet. But I was pretty impressed by this, and overall, I would have to say that I think it probably is worth $9.99. It just is. It's an unusual thing for a lot of us because we get all these free experiences. So when there is one that comes along that we actually have to kick out quite a bit of money for, it just seems like, wow, this better be like super duper incredible because I'm paying money for this. And I think that's a bit unfair. It's unfair just because all these other ones are free. You're kind of like placing a lot more of a requirement on one that does charge money, like the Great Sea, Dispatch, some of the other ones that have charged a little bit of money for this. But I was impressed with Spheres. I think they give you 3 different scenarios that are really high quality. Would I rather pay like $4.99 for it? Sure, I would, but I don't think I mean, if I paid real money out of my own pocket for this, I don't think I would be that depressed about it. I think I would feel pretty good about it. So I did enjoy Spheres. That's my thought on that. Now, Crow the Legend, you know, this is in the news. Crow the Legend is available on PlayStation VR. So that was a short-lived exclusive period being on the Oculus Store. I believe it's available in a lot of different places. Unfortunately, though, the PlayStation VR version is very similar to the Oculus Go version. It is basically a video. It is not happening within a game engine or in real time, and that's disappointing because I think PlayStation VR could probably have done it to a decent degree, but you know, it is available for PlayStation VR players as well. That is Crow the Legend. Okay, let's see here. What else can we get into? Did I have any other trailers? Like I said, it is kind of a light day today. There's not a lot going on. Oh, you know, one news story we do have is Jet Island. There has been a major update that has come to Jet Island, update number 3. There's a level editor, there's support for Knuckles, custom controls, some different things like that. So I actually have a trailer. Now, this is a long 7-minute trailer. I'm not going to run this whole thing, but you know what? We can watch maybe a minute or so of this and see what the dev is talking about, Master Indy, in terms of this update. And why don't we go ahead and check this out for a quick second here.
How's it going? Welcome to the Master Indie YouTube channel. My name's Eric Turashinsky, and welcome to Jet Island. Except we're not in Jet Island yet. We are in an empty ocean where we can use all of the new tools to place objects and build our own custom map. So you can see I kind of have sort of like telekinesis for placing around objects. And I can also use my jets to fly around. And when I'm in level editor mode, as you can see by this menu here, I float in the air, so I can just use my jets to fly around. So anyways, I have a lot of really cool stuff about the level editor to show off. But first, I also want to show off my new knuckle controllers. So I got a sample unit of the new prototype knuckle controllers from Valve in the mail. And so far I am really liking these things. The coolest thing about them is the finger tracking. So as you can see, I've added finger tracking to the game, and you can actually see I'm able to open and close individual fingers, and I can do it in any order that I want. So yeah, that is really cool. It doesn't actually do anything to Jet Island, but it is really cool having your fingers in the game. But the buttons themselves, like the joystick and all the buttons you use to move around, the new controllers feel really comfortable, and they're definitely my new favorite controllers to play Jet Island with. Alright, so there is a lot of cool things you can do with the level editor.
So yeah, this definitely looks pretty sweet, and I didn't know there was going to be that much about Knuckles EV3 in here as well. Some nice close-up video of Knuckles EV3. Also, did you guys notice the padding that was on Knuckles EV3? It really is exactly the same kind of padding that was on that mystery HMD, the Valve mystery HMD. And I gotta say, just seeing that makes me excited, because I know that Valve probably has a master vision here that is going to combine this new headset with their new controllers and base stations. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe Valve will really do this. Like maybe they're going to have their own entire bundle, their own headset, Knuckles, their base stations in a combined bundle, and then 3 incredible Valve games to go with that. So I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know, just happening to see that during this video, it just makes me hopeful, you know, that Valve is really going to kill it with this headset when they finally unveil this new headset. But yeah, looking at Jet Island, I mean, this is super cool. Jet Island is a very solid game. I'm a fan of this game. I really need to get back into it and play it a lot more, because I didn't even really get into the bosses and stuff. Mostly when I was playing it, I was just kind of lounging around, just kind of cruising the countryside and just kind of zoning out in VR, which is something I have been known to do at times. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but sometimes I have like my deepest thinking when I'm in VR. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because you're in some other place and you're just kind of chilling out in another place, that I feel like I could think a lot of different deep thoughts about different things. And Jet Island is kind of one of those perfect games for that, for me, because of the way I was playing it, just kind of chilling out and exploring exploring the island that's on offer. But now with this level editor, you can do a lot of cool, interesting things as well. And I know MainFan was really a big fan of Jet Island, so he's probably really going to screw around with this level editor and try to make some different things. But that looks pretty cool. Hopefully you'll be able to upload these somehow, and other people might be able to download these, so you could create some really cool levels with all kinds of ramps and different things you could chill around in. So that should be pretty sweet. That is Jet Island. So we got a new major update. That's pretty exciting. Okay. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the different trailers that I had lined up to possibly show you guys. So what we could do now is we could go ahead and check out some of the different subreddits and some of the different websites and see if there's any kind of other new information that's going on. But again, this is the Thanksgiving Day holiday, so it's probably going to be incredibly slow. A lot of companies have probably taken the rest of this week off, so there's probably not going to really be any news until like Monday or something like that. So it could be a bit of a slow time out there. But let's go ahead and bounce back over here, and we can go ahead and take a look at some of these subreddits. Let's go ahead and start it off with the HTC Vive subreddit. And as you can see here, this is where I saw this. I'm adding a level editor to Jet Island, custom controls, and he's got Knuckles controllers in the game. Now, I did see this one. I haven't actually checked into this, but mitigation of screen door effect in head-mounted displays. This is a Valve patent. Let me just go ahead and click on the comments. Yeah, I mean, Samsung versus Valve lawsuit incoming. Yeah, but there is a bit of excitement here because we know that there is this headset, this mystery headset that is floating out there. Hopefully, this Valve patent for mitigation of screen door effect, hopefully that is included within this headset and some of the other new techniques that they've discovered in all of their research with VR. Looking forward to that. Smashbox Arena has a major discount, 75% off. This, of course, is Big Box VR is a developer of Smashbox Arena. They, of course, are making Population 1, which is probably one of the most wanted VR games that is currently floating out there, coming spring of 2019. But if you want to see their earlier game, that is Smashbox Arena. I've actually never played this, but Gary played it, and he wrote a review for VR Game Rankings, like one of our little mini reviews, and I believe he gave it like a score in the 90s. Like, he really loved Smashbox Arena, so it is on a pretty nice discount there. Of course, there's a million games with discounts. They're all over the place. This one guy's asking an interesting question. He says, look, if the Lighthouse 2.0 system is cheaper to make, why does it cost more? You know, built into the bundle of the HTC Vive Pro. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting question. Why does it cost more? And if you click on it, because HTC, that's why. Yeah, right now it is in HTC's hands in terms of that bundle, so they have to cover their costs for that. So that is a big part of it. That's pretty much it. Okay, Black Friday. There's a sale on VR covers. You know, speak of the devil, I have that VR cover for my Oculus Go. They are having some sales over there at VR Cover. And you know what? Honestly, I actually, and this is not VR Cover has not paid me anything. They did send me this cover, full disclosure, but you know, I have no payments or no ties to VR Cover in any particular way. But I actually do want to order a new face insert for my Oculus Rift. And mainly it's because I have a bad habit of leaving my Oculus Rift just kind of sitting on the ground. And I have a cat, and you know, my cat comes laying around in here, and there's cat hairs and stuff. And every once in a while I'll put my headset on and there's like some cat hairs like by my nose, and it's like, oh, this is not good. There's a little bit of a stickiness that's in there. And so I'm thinking if I get a different cover, one of the plastic ones that doesn't have any of that sticky stuff around it, maybe my problem with my cat will go away. So yeah, looking at possibly grabbing myself another VR cover for my Oculus Rift. And that's pretty much what's going on over here on the Vive subreddit. We can go ahead and check out the Oculus subreddit, see if there's anything different. One of the things I did notice here on the Oculus Rift subreddit, here's our boy, Haney555. There is a story, Oculus Rift plus Touch for $315, and the Oculus Go for $162. How is this happening? Well, it is via this Black Friday friend referral. I don't know too much about this, but apparently if you do a referral, there's some kind of code out there. I know there's a lot of people talking about, can I get a code for a Rift? Can I get a code for this? Like everybody's like, you know, PM me or email. I'm trying to get a code for this, a code for that. But yeah, that is a great deal. We're talking $315 for a Rift. That is dirt cheap. $162 for an Oculus Go, but it's kind of like a slick deals type of deal where you're going to have to do this like friend referral thing. So I haven't looked into that too much. There is this new game called No King, No Kingdom. I actually checked out the YouTube video for this. Didn't look that great, so I didn't grab that video. And then Paradise Decay, you know, he's talking about this video for a TED Talk, which he says this is a really great TED Talk to show your friends. Whoops, let me, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and move that. But yeah, I haven't checked out this particular TED Talk, but there are tons of incredibly good TED Talks out there that could definitely be that you could definitely check out. I've seen a lot of really good TED Talks. This is Thong Nguyen, VR entrepreneur, and he's kind of talking about some of the different things in terms of learning in VR, how it's impacting training and development, healthcare, and even our own self-perception. That virtual reality even has the capacity to create empathy and strengthen how we understand ourselves and each other. So Paradise really recommends this, so we should all probably check this out a little bit later on down the road. But that is a TED Talk. You can see him here putting on an HTC Vive, and he's got some trackers on his wrist as well. Why don't we go ahead and bounce over to Road to VR? Let's see, are there any news stories today on Road to VR? And of course, you know, your typical Thanksgiving Day story, the best VR games to show your family at Thanksgiving this year. We got some Black Friday deals on PlayStation VR, Beat Saber's getting more songs. So not really anything new over there. Let's go ahead. Oh, I'm getting some kind of problem on Upload VR. Yep, that is not working right now. Let's go ahead and check out the PSVR subreddit. They finally stopped talking about Beat Saber a little bit. Check this out, guys. Astrobot, $20, the digital code on Amazon. So if you've owned a PlayStation VR for a long time and you didn't get Astrobot in any of these bundles, here's a chance to get it for half price. And this is easily, I mean, we're talking game of the year for 2018. Astrobot, without question, is in consideration for game of the year, and here's an opportunity to get it for $20 off. Titanic VR is now out in the USA today on PSVR. They have some free keys over here that you might be able to grab if you hop into this subreddit. Of course, you do have to pay some money. That's an example. There's another example of an experience where you actually have to pay a little bit of money to get into that experience. And apparently Forbes, harsh PSVR critic, is starting to have a change of heart, and all it took was a small robot to make him see otherwise. So that's probably something about Astrobot kind of changing the minds of VR haters everywhere. And here's an interesting one. Hey, new PSVR owners, did you know you can play 3D Blu-rays? Try it out with Dread in 3D for only $5 at Best Buy. That's something I still haven't done, is actually try a 3D Blu-ray in VR. I haven't tried it on the PC. I haven't tried it on PSVR. Haven't tried it with my Oculus Go. I know there's a lot of different ways that you can rip 3D Blu-rays and check them out in your headset. It is supposed to work very, very well. Macy's Parade is live in 360 video right now. I know that is going on. My mom was watching that a little bit earlier today. All these people dancing around in New York, 19 degrees out there. I mean, cold as hell. And Firewall has that 0-hour aim bundle for $60. I mean, there is just a ridiculous number of sales that are going on all over the place. But let me go ahead and head back here to our regular scene here. Let's see what some people are talking about in chat. Noel DBZ says, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And let's see, Hussein X says, I bought Blaze Rush a few months back and played a few hours. Yeah, I probably will be showing a few of the Thanksgiving Day people later today, some family members, Blaze Rush, maybe on my Oculus Go. I was trying to think, you know, what should I show them in my Oculus Go? I'm going to show them Eclipse Edge of Light. Definitely will be showing them that. Probably will be showing them Henry, Amaze 3D, some of these other things, but Blaze Rush could be a possibility as well. Ekin Hawk says, why is it that there are no headsets with eye tracking and FOV rendering yet? Well, I believe Star VR. Doesn't Star VR have foveated rendering and eye tracking? Although it is $3,200 and it's not really available yet, and not anybody can just go ahead and buy it. In fact, our very own MAME fan tried to submit an application to Star VR as a developer to maybe be able to buy one of these things, because MAME fan is the perfect example. I was telling you, yeah, $3,200. That is a hell of a lot of money, but if this is your primary hobby, and if this is what you're all about, and if the Star VR headset is just an incredible headset, and you could be enjoying all of your Steam VR games in just an unbelievable headset, maybe it would be worth it. It's a lot of money to kick out, but MameFan tried to get in there and his developer application was denied. So unfortunately, no Star VR headset for him anytime soon, but I do believe it does have eye tracking. I think we're looking at maybe 2020 before everyday consumer headsets start having eye tracking, foveated rendering. Like even the Valve, even that Valve Mystery HMD, we saw the lenses. It doesn't look like there's any kind of eye tracking built into that. That's a little bit disappointed, because even if you're not doing foveated rendering, we've seen that demo with the Tobii eye tracking where your eyes are kind of darting around. In fact, I could probably find that trailer real quick. Let's see if I can find it. But yeah, it's the Tobii eye tracking. Your eyes are kind of darting all over the place. I think it's a pretty cool demo. Let's see if it's just under T. My problem is, okay, yeah, here we go. I found the Tobii eye tracking. See, a lot of my trailers, and this, of course, is not sized the right size, but we'll go ahead and expand it a little bit. A lot of my trailers are named like it might not start with Tobii, and then it's impossible to find it. So I need to do a little bit better job here. But yeah, this is an example of how eye tracking can kind of change the game, especially from a social standpoint in stuff like Rec Room, stuff like Poker Stars VR. Actually having that legit eye presence where you see people's eyes moving around, I think that would add a lot to the overall experience. This is an example. See, with Tobii eye tracking, the eyes actually moving around, blinking, all those kinds of things. It does add quite a bit to the experience. Hussein X says Star VR has eye tracking. It has foveated rendering. Paradise Decay says, did anybody else see PewDiePie playing Beat Saber? I'm guessing the PlayStation VR version, maybe trying that out. No, I did not check that out. Ekin Hawk says no one would buy it without dropping $3K at least. Hussein X says, I bought on Oculus Rift for £2. Oh, Blaze Rush. He's talking about Blaze Rush. And Push the Button says $299 for a Samsung Odyssey Plus. It's a much better deal than the Oculus Rift. Even that deal where you're getting the Oculus Rift at $315. Well, you know, it depends. I still feel like the Oculus Touch controllers are a lot better than those mixed reality controllers, even though the Samsung does have slightly better mixed reality controllers than all of the other ones out there. It just depends if you can live with a little bit of that softness that has been added in there, but it does take away the screen door. I'd like to try it out personally. I need to find somebody here in Sacramento, California that has all these crazy headsets, and I can go over there and check them out for a little bit. Kev Gret says, do it, Anthony. Well worth it. Not sure what he's talking about on that one. But yeah, Oculus Touch controllers alone sets itself apart from the competition. That's Phil Yarn. I tend to agree with that. I mean, the one thing about those Oculus Touch controllers, I always say they melt in your hands. And what I mean by that is you put them on and they just feel like they're a natural extension of your hands, like they're just part of your hands. And when I think about PlayStation VR 2, I think, man, if all they did was just have like Oculus Touch style controllers for PSVR 2 that track very well, the PSVR 2 is just going to be absolutely awesome when they improve the controllers by leaps and bounds from that standpoint. But yeah, so that's what's going on over there in chat. Not much else is popping off. Well, one of the things that we can talk about, let me see if I can grab another trailer real quick. And we can talk about just generally from a standpoint of it being Thanksgiving, what are we thankful for? You know, what's some of the stuff that we're thankful for out there? I'm just going to throw on a random trailer real quick. And, oh man, I got to resize it because that Toby one screwed me up. So let's go ahead and resize this. This is Frankenstein VR. Okay, so what are we thankful for in VR? I can talk about a lot of different things I'm thankful for. Number one, I'm thankful for YouTube. I'm thankful that I have this platform where I could come to you every day and I can kind of get up here on my bully pulpit and talk about different VR stuff, celebrate different VR stuff. I'm thankful for the chat. I mean, how awesome is it that I have all these people that show up in chat every day? And I'm also thankful for the community that we have over there at Discord. So definitely hop on to our Discord server. If you go into the show notes for this show and for all of our shows, there is an invite in there to Discord. So all you got to do is sign up for Discord. You click on that, bada boom, bada bing, you are invited to VR365 Discord server, and you can join us over there where the community continues when this show isn't live. So we're basically available 24 hours a day. I jump in there quite a bit and will comment here and there about the different stuff that is going on in the VR gaming industry. We've been talking a little bit about like what some of the best experiences are out there, some of the best VR games. Lots of good discussion goes on over on our Discord channel. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for Gary, Steve, and Chris, the VR Roundtable guys. I mean, how awesome was that? In fact, I go back in time and I think to the fact I had this podcast called Vivecast, and Gary, who I didn't know, reached out to me about possibly being on one of the shows. I had him as a guest on episode 10. I mean, how lucky was I? Gary, a perfect person to come aboard and be a podcast partner. And me and Gary kind of kicked off VR Roundtable, and then Steve joined us. And Steve, I'm thankful for everything Steve has brought to the table as well. Such a great producer, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Steve just works really hard on all that. Plus, he's got a regular real-time job that he's doing all the time. It's amazing what he's able to accomplish. I'm thankful for Chris joining us and kind of giving us a little bit of a more youthful perspective on all of this stuff, being a very young guy that's trying to make a name for himself in the VR gaming industry. He's actually working at a VR developer in Montreal. How awesome is that? And so just so much stuff to be thankful for. I'm thankful for all the incredible games that we've gotten over the last couple of years. But you know what I'm really thankful for? I'm thankful for the fact that we have this new technology, VR. I mean, we have this technology, VR. I could remember being a kid and thinking about this idea that you could put something on and you could step into a completely different world. I've said it a million times. one of the things that I've always been chasing ever since I was in my teens, buying different video game systems, buying hi-fi VCRs and DVD players and Laserdisc players. I've always been chasing the most incredible audio-visual experience I could possibly have. And my all-time dream is to literally be inside a movie, to be the star of a movie and to have a movie that wraps all around me. And we're getting closer and closer every day. I mean, Lone Echo is probably the best example of that, but that's what VR has brought to the table. So I'm thankful to actually live in a time when VR is happening. And this is a really cool time, because think about people that were born, say, 15 years ago or so, whatever. They didn't grow up in the era of the Atari 2600. They didn't see the birth of VR like I did. And I'm thankful for that. I mean, not VR, but the birth of like video gaming in your home, arcade gaming, Centipede, Donkey Kong. I mean, I grew up through that entire era. How incredible is that? And now I'm also experiencing VR. So just so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful for all the developers out there that are banging away so hard and working on all these games all the time. Thankful for the communities at Reddit and on Discord as well, and all the other communities out there where we're discussing VR, and we don't have as many haters. But you know what? Let's be thankful for the haters too. We can be thankful for them because they push us on and spur us on to be better and to try to solve some of the issues that they're talking about, some of the complaints that they're talking about, the friction and all of that. We're going to work on that. We're eventually going to solve these problems, and we're eventually going to create a situation where the haters have nothing to hate about. So I'm thankful for the haters because they will spur us on. Let's see what people are talking about in chat. What are you guys thankful Day in relation to VR? Is there a very specific game, a very specific community, or a very specific developer that you're very thankful for? Maybe Valve, thankful for the fact that they're making these 3 VR games and Knuckles and all of this stuff. Just so much stuff to be thankful for. Andy Sky says Oculus, Sony, Valve have to step in for foveated, then VR game devs will start to support it. Dr. Freeman says, what about the Valve patent for removing the screen door effect? We did just mention that a little while ago, and we are hoping that that technology is in the Mystery HMD as well. Paradise Decay says, I'm just thankful to be able to play VR every day. Like, yeah, how freaking awesome is that? I mean, another thing that me and Paradise should be thankful for is the free codes that we get to cover these VR games. How amazing is it that we get all these free codes, we're able to try these experiences, and then kind of give our impressions to you guys. That is super awesome. The Rex Terra says, I'm thankful for the Steam sale. Absolutely. Phil Yarn says, thankful for Michigan voters. Not sure what he's talking about there. Paradise Decay. Anthony says, have you played Scraper yet? Yeah, Skyscraper, not Scrapper, Scraper. No, I haven't. I have not played Scraper yet, but you know what? Paradise has a video that is popping up very soon about Scraper. Yeah, Scraper. Paradise has a video that's going to be popping very soon about Scraper, his thoughts on Scraper, and he really loves Scraper apparently, which I'm kind of surprised. I honestly was like, when all these games are coming, and before I ever get a code for a game or ever jump into a game, I kind of have like my gut instinct about a game, and my gut instinct with Scraper wasn't very good, but apparently, according to Paradise, it is absolutely quite awesome. So that is cool. Lethal Weasel VR says, happy Turkey Day. I Am Rhett says, loading a game via audio cassette shows my age. Tell me about it. Dude, I remember I had an Atari 800 XL, and it had one of those tape machines, and I had a game called Blue Max. Probably my favorite 800 XL game was Blue Max, and it was on a tape cassette. And you literally played a tape cassette, and somehow it loaded it into the memory, and you could play a video game off of a tape cassette. Yeah, talk about showing our age. I Am Rhett says, I'm thankful for being alive, and to God for giving me life. Absolutely. You know, you got to be alive if you're going to celebrate VR, right? And Chris Gould says, what are the turkeys thankful for? Well, of course, there were a couple of turkeys that were pardoned by President Trump, which it's kind of a tradition in the White House, they always pardon a couple of turkeys, and these turkeys are treated like royalty, like they fly on private jets, and they get to retire in a special place where they'll never have their heads chopped off, which is kind of crazy. DickyBoy23 says, I'm thankful hair transplants have come on leaps and bounds. Okay, that's an interesting one to be thankful for. And Lethal Weasel says, look, I'm just thankful for VR in general, not only for the hours of fun, but for all the new friends I've made. And that's another cool thing. Think about all the different people that we've met. Hey, what about my producer? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot to say thanks to my producer, Jim Hall, who literally fell out of the sky like an angel from above to help me with all of this, like this background, the chat, getting things kind of dialed in and looking a little bit more professional and all of that. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely thankful for Jim Hall. Jim Hall was like a prayer answered, really, to help me out, and he's still helping me behind the scenes. We've kind of taken a little bit of pause, haven't changed a lot of things recently, but I'm sure we'll get back at it and start improving some other stuff as well. So definitely thankful for that. But you know what? Paradise Decay did mention Scraper. And you know what? I do have the Steam page here for Scraper somewhere. Let's check this out because, okay, this is available. We didn't know what the price was. There's only one user review. That's not too good right there. You'd like to see some more reviews for this. The price is 30 bucks. So yeah, not exactly cheap, but hey, good news. Paradise thinks it's really quite awesome. So that is some pretty good news there. Hopefully a lot more people will jump into Scraper. It's a bad time to launch a game right now. I mean, that's the honest truth of it because there's just so many freaking deals on these older games that you come in with a brand new game at 30 bucks. It's going to be a bit difficult. This is where I think demos could really help out. If there was a very short demo for Scraper, or maybe even if there was an interactive trailer similar to Runes VR. I think those kinds of things can help out. I'd like to see more interactive trailers like what Stormborn Studios did with the Runes VR interactive trailer. I think that would help a lot too. But that is Scraper. It is available out there. But yeah, you know, Hussein X says Scraper does look awesome. I've been thinking, should I just buy it now at full price or wait? Looks like my type of game. And Paradise says, do the pardoned turkeys get to try VR? No, but I have seen a chimpanzee that is pretty good with a Vive headset on. He knows how to avoid the chaperone boundaries and everything. Have you guys seen that video with that chimpanzee? He's been in a lot of different experiences in VR. How crazy is that? Could you imagine if you were that chimp, next level chimp? I Am Rhett says, for $30, I can get all the Serious Sam games plus a couple of other games. Hard to drop the same money for one game. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm mentioning there as far as that. Alrighty, guys. Well, we haven't quite gone for a full hour here, but you know what? That's pretty much going to do it. We're pretty much out of stuff to talk about here. I need some water real bad. I should have had a cup of water here right with me. That's my problem. My throat is getting really dry. And you know what? I got to get ready for Turkey Day. Yeah, a little bit later today, I'm going to be heading over to my father-in-law's where we're going to enjoy a nice turkey dinner with all the fixings. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to some of the football that will be on. Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins, some of the different Thursday football games. And I'm looking forward to bringing my my Oculus Go here with my new VR cover, bringing this to the Thanksgiving celebration and putting a bunch of different people into VR. Maybe some people getting their first opportunity to try VR and check it out. Looking forward to that as well. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow on Friday, Black Friday. I plan on being here at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You know, I was looking for some Black Friday deals on a motherboard CPU combo, and I didn't really see anything. I got a Fry's Electronics that's not too far from me. I'll have to check out their website and see if there's anything going on. But I didn't really see any deals. They had deals on laptops and deals on desktops. There were some deals on some video cards, but I didn't see any good motherboard memory CPU kind of deal, which is what I'm really looking for. And I'm not sure if Newegg has anything incredible as well. But if anybody notices anything, hop onto our Discord server And go ahead and contact me there or leave a note there, because I'm definitely looking forward to that. I would like to upgrade my PC 100%, new CPU, new motherboard, new memory, basically an entirely new computer. That would be super awesome. But I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I will see you guys then. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.